Hi friends, hi hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hey, my name is Shantel, and I'm so glad that you clicked on this video. This is Bookmas Day 11, which is crazy because I sincerely think that I would make it this far. Only because I tend to be very forgetful, and I was worried that I was just going to forget a day, but I've been very good about remembering and being very intentional. So this is fun. This is really fun. And today's video is kind of a part two to um, the oldest books on my TBR video from a few days ago. That one has an orange thumbnail. If you're curious or want to check it out, I will post the link down below so you can go and watch it. But yes, I am just very excited because we're going to be reading the oldest book on my CBR today. So if you haven't watched that video yet, this will be kind of a new thing. But if you have watched that video, then you will know already what it is. But that is Witch and Wizard by James Patterson and Gabrielle Charbonnet. I'm not sure how to pronounce that last name. That's my attempt. But basically, this one is about a brother and a sister, Wit and Wisty Allgood, and they realize that, or they're accused of being a witch or a wizard. They have no clue what anyone's talking about. They get kidnapped in the middle of the night, and then it basically everything that you love, all your books, all of your music, pictures, everything like that is forever banned. So, sounds really, really interesting. I've had this book on my TBR since I was 14 or 15 years old. I'm now 26. So, yeah, I need to read this book really soon. Like today. So, I am going to read the first little thing here, and this is also 307 pages. I got this book at St. Vincent de Paul, yeah, for 99 cents back in the day. They've definitely raised their prices since then. Alright, imagine another world, one similar to your own, a parallel universe where life is still full of friends and loves, school and sports, church and family. But then everything changes, overnight, because people aren't paying attention. Something important is taken from society, books, movies, and music. Freedom and justice, and respect for the incredible creative power of kids. It can all disappear in a flash. So pay attention, don't let this happen to your world. Dun dun dun. And that's going to go into the prologue. Everything changes now. And then the prologue. So it technically starts on page 5, but I mean, there is other pages that I have words that I just read out loud. So yeah, I'm excited. This has pretty big font, so I'm not concerned that it's going to be a super long book. I do obviously want to finish this today, so it is currently 2:48. I am going to kind of do some laundry real quick, and I'm going to start reading at 3 p.m. and we'll see how long this takes me to finish. Okay, so it is currently 3:30. I've been reading obviously for 30 minutes, and I have read 106 pages. This is very fast paced. It's pretty short. The chapters are only maybe like 1 to 4 pages long. They're very short. So I'm already on chapter 36, if that tells you anything. Like that's how most of them are. So you're constantly going back and forth, and it's very just they're here, then they're here, then they're here, then they're here, and it's kind of making my brain hurt a little bit because I feel like we're not getting a lot of detail. I can tell we're building up to something, but I don't know what it is. Basically, this follows Wisty and Wit, who are siblings. He's about to turn 18. She's, I think, 15. And they get kidnapped in the middle of the night by this new world order. And this world order is basically rounding up all these children that they think are witches and wizards, and they end up being actual witches and wizards. At least Wit and Wisty are, but they didn't know that, right? So they're kind of like, why are we here? We don't understand. They're being like tortured and stuff. It's not super graphic or anything like that, but it does have some mentions of that kind of thing in here. My only qualm is so far is that I feel like they don't talk like actual teenagers. They talk like teenagers on TV shows. You know, like the ones that are like their constant sarcasm come back and they're like super witty or super funny all the time, that kind of thing. I'm like, okay, but kids aren't really like that. Like, I'm sorry, the average 15 and 17-year-old student isn't actually that funny. They may think they are, but you know what I'm saying? So it's reading a little bit juvenile. I don't know. I personally think that the Percy Jackson series does a lot better job of showing what true teenagers or young adults talk versus this. So that's kind of annoying me a little bit. But other than that, it's been pretty okay. I'm going to switch my laundry over and then continue on, and we'll see how much I can read in another 25 minutes or so. Okay, so it is 4 p.m. and I am now on page 182. So I'm over halfway, and yeah, so far this book is flying by. It's very, very easy to read. I will say, though, that the content is not necessarily anything groundbreaking. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but I feel like this is for maybe younger YA readers, which is totally fine. I know I'm not the age demographic that this book is technically for, but it's a little, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it besides being kind of juvenile, I guess. I just kind of feel like the imagery and the storytelling isn't that great. I feel like we could be given more details, and like I don't really know the areas. I can't picture it in my brain because I don't know what anything's supposed to really look like. I feel like James Patterson and the other writer on this book, I feel like they're not that imaginative in the way that they're writing. It's not like, oh, this is all the stuff. It's very like, we did this. Whit said this. I said this. We did this. Blah, 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 back and forth. And so it's interesting, but it's not interesting because I'm not enjoying myself as much per se as I could be if it was a little bit more um, detailed. So I wish that they would have expounded a little bit, but that's okay. I um, am just gonna continue on reading. It's obviously 4:02 now. I'm gonna take a mini break, get something to drink. I'll start at like 4:05, and then we'll see how long it takes me, and I'll maybe film my like last 10-page reaction or something. Okay, so I have 5 pages left. So let's read these 5 pages together. One of them is literally a blank page, pretty much. Okay, so that was not my favorite thing in the world to read. Wow. I'm going to give it a 2 star. I think that was an interesting book. So, um, one of my things, I didn't mention this previously because I didn't think, at first I was like, okay, once was weird, and then it kept on happening, and I was like, this is weird. Wit kept on mentioning how attractive his sister was, which I thought was kind of odd. And then Wisty kept on mentioning how handsome her brother was and talking about his abs. And I just, what is up with authors putting that kind of stuff in like dystopian books or like books from like, this is from 2009. Why? Why are we doing that? That's so uncomfy. This isn't Flowers in the Attic, right? I don't know. I just thought that was weird. You know what? I might actually still read the series because even though I don't think it was the greatest, I want to know what happens next. But yeah, definitely a 2 star read. But it's currently 4:48. I'll just say I ended at 4:47. So I read this book basically in like 2 hours and 40 minutes or so, give or take. Pretty good. That's pretty good. 307 pages, and some of them were, like the prologue, and then you flip over, and then one page would be blank, and then the next page would have writing. So, yeah, I think YA for me personally, I think I've just kind of outgrown it, obviously, and I'm just not that demographic anymore. And I will continue to read the YA that is on my shelves, but I probably won't buy more of it. I think I'm just gonna do my best to kind of distance myself because I think that I'm just not vibing with it as much. So, but that's okay. So this was a reading the oldest book on my TBR. I did it. Yay. We completed this video. If you enjoyed, it would be amazing if you liked, commented down below, shared, and subscribed. That would be, that just make my day. And I will see you tomorrow for Bookmas Day 12. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good one. So I'm very excited. I will see you later, alligator.